I've been thinking about this a lot, and it's like I actually made a list, and then I went back and tweaked the list a few times because it's like I kept adding stuff. But it's like I wanted to do a video about things you should keep when somebody passes away, and like, um, it's like and actually what you should do is like start gathering maybe stuff up long before somebody's died, like when I pass away, or somebody I know passes away. You start, like, it's like, yeah, you should keep this or keep that when so that you have those mementos. So it's like this is a and some of these things are going to sound a little strange, but it's like once somebody passes away and they're gone, it'll make sense to you that that I recommended this. So anyway, the best thing to do is start gathering up things to before somebody does pass away. The real obvious things are you want to keep photos, all the photos that you can, and going along with that is like you always want to put like the names of the people on the back, and hopefully when the picture was taken, even if you don't know what month, exact date, maybe you know what you know, uh, like the month and the year or something when it was taken, and even where it was taken. It's like because it was like if you're out in the wilderness or something, it's like this was taken in Nevada, northern Nevada or something. And then of course video. Keep as much video as you can. If you have 8 millimeter stuff, you try and get it transferred over to digital. And the other thing too that's important, it's like you don't think about these things until someone passes away. It's like you don't realize. It's like like when my mother died. I realized it's like I took plenty of pictures of her, but I realized I didn't take very many video of her. So it's very many videos of her. So it's like that's kind of disappointing. Or some, and even more disappointing is like I didn't have almost. We have some really old film footage of my dad, but we have I still had, even though he died in 2012, I still had an iPhone, camera and stuff. So, I didn't take, enough, I took pictures, but not enough video. Wish I had taken more video of him just being himself and stuff. And that being said, it's like what you want to do is like, take, it sounds crazy, but take photos and video of like the mundane, like, because you don't think about it afterwards. Like, I wish I had like a photo and video of my mother just walking around the grocery store with a cart. That sounds crazy, but years later, it's like, these were things that she enjoyed going to the grocery store. Not everybody does, but she loved going to the getting out and go. It's like I want to go to the grocery store, even though she didn't buy much of anything, and I usually had to watch her and everything, later in life. So that kind of thing. Um, so you can't really take enough videos and pictures, and make sure that they're marked and you know what date they're on. Um, Articles of clothing you want to keep. It's like you want to keep some of the article. You can't really keep everything. It's like with my dad and my mother, we donated quite a bit of like clothing and stuff. Because you can't keep all of it. But there's certain things, like a dress that she wore a lot. We kept a few of those. And with my dad, we kept, I think, one suit. We donated some suits. He had quite a few suits, and he had neckties and so on, and he had a lot of them. And at his funeral service, I gave some of the neckties away to some of the men. It's like I would offer them one of his neckties so that they would have it, which is, and actually, the odd thing is, it's like that's a squirrel. The odd thing is that I actually wore one of his neckties to the funeral, and nobody ever said anything either. It's like, isn't anybody going to say I'm wearing his necktie? But yeah, shirts, like shirts, pants, a suit, jacket, a fur coat. It's like I have my mother's coat from way back when. We kept is she probably hadn't worn it in decades, but we kept this coat. It's just got a mink fur collar on it. It's like, and so we kept that. um, Work clothes, stuff that anybody wears to work. Like if they had especially if they had a uniform and a name tag, you want to keep one of those. So that's good to keep. My dad's Safeway apron. It's like we have that. It's in a closet somewhere. I haven't seen it recently, but I know we kept it. And we also have like his 20-year pin. He has a little tiny pin. It's like I took pictures of it and stuff. But it's his, it's like, and we actually have a picture of him like getting his little tiny 20-year pin. We keep that. Um, uh, shoes, a couple pairs of shoes. That sounds odd. Somebody's stinky little ass shoes. But it's like what's interesting is that you see the footprint in them. And we're talking about used shoes, not like new shoes. It's like newer shoes. You can give, some of them that are in great condition, you can always donate. But like the shoe, it's nice to have somebody's shoe footprint in their shoe that they were walking in. I just think it's a fascinating and a good thing to keep for somebody. Um, like I said, work uniform, if they had a work uniform, a military uniform, and so on, and any kind of badges and awards. It's like you want to do that. It's like I was going to bring it out. It's like I forgot. It's like I have some awards that I've gotten and so on. So it's neat to keep that kind of stuff. It was another thing. Somebody's purse or wallet. So we kept one or two of my mother's purses and her wallet. And I think we've got my dad's wallet somewhere too. It's like, and we just kind of kept it the way it was, because interestingly, my mother's wallet has like it's got like a baby picture of me in it still. She had she's had a number of wallets over the years, but she would change the pictures, and it's like there's like a baby picture of me in it. This is gonna sound weird. Tooth, fingernails. So like a clip, it's kind of good to have like a biological thing of somebody. I actually kept a tooth. I had one of my wisdom. I still have all my wisdom teeth except one, and it's like my mother started losing her teeth, and it's like I know we kept one of her teeth. So it's like kind of a weird thing to keep, but like a tooth, is it's something biological of that person. So you put it's like you keep the tooth, and it's actually, I have a tooth, and then at some point, like a fingernail, like if you got one grows out rather long, just clip it and keep the fingernail. Um, Writing samples, notes, like anything from like school, maybe from school on, from when you were at school on up, all the years that you're, growing up, and as an adult and everything. Different writing samples. I have a lot of, done a lot of writing and stuff. I have a lot of that because I took notes and everything. A lot of notes and stuff. Like, it's like thousands, probably thousands of pages of it somewhere, but you don't keep it all. But it's like notes, checks, like a few canceled checks with the signature, and that's another thing. Having several samples of somebody's signature, letters, cards, and so on. That's good to have. And then you want to keep some possessions that they really valued. It's like whatever that is. It's like maybe a piece of jewelry or something, or like I don't know, just whatever they valued. Books, if they have a few books that they own with their writing in it and stuff. Keep a few of those. Then there's also rings, especially like wedding rings or favorite piece of jewelry. With me, it's like I have that dragon ring, which I've talked about. That, and with my parents, I have both of their wedding rings in my jewelry box case. That those are important to keep. Um, uh, yeah, another thing you can do is you do what I'm doing. It's like make some videos and talking about their life. And it's like, and in general, talk about your life. Make some videos so you can pass them on down to your descendants. It's like whoever. So it's out there. Sometimes you might want to give some advice, like me. It's like what I'm doing right now. Make some videos talking about the life. It's like, and I wish I had sat my dad and mother down. I was thinking about it, but back then we didn't have iPhones and stuff. But sitting them down and just doing videotape of them talking about their lives and their background and so on. Maybe there's a favorite piece of furniture or something. You might want to keep that at the chair. You can just keep it in your home or something. I actually have a rocking chair that I kept. A little rocking chair when I was a kid. The back of it, you wind it up. It used to play. It's been broken for a while. The music box on the back of it. It's like it used to play "Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Wolf," but it's a nice, neat little rocking chair that I used as a kid. Um, Old bank statements, just kind of an interesting, and some canceled checks, maybe a few canceled checks. Um, the person's hairbrush with and hair. Maybe the hair's inside the hairbrush, but it's like just keep some hair samples. I know I've got a bag of you know my hair. When it was cut one time some years ago, it's like, and my sister's got it too. It keeps somebody's hair. And it's favorite things that they might have liked and so on. Just keep those. That's gonna, it's like fingerprints and handprint. I actually have for me. It's like when I was in probably around the first grade or something, I did a handprint in like um, some kind of clay or something, and it's like it was hardened and everything and baked, and so it's like it's kind of neat to have that something like that. Marriage license, birth certificates, death certificates, keep all of those. I did run across very recently my grandparents' marriage license, which I thought was, I was going to show that, but it's like I forgot to bring it out. So, and then diplomas, whether it's like graduating from grammar school or high school, college, whatever, anything like that. Then things from school, like if you have report cards, maybe a few report cards. And I think I've got a couple of report cards in mine. I don't think I have most of them, but maybe a few school books and homework and so on. So, and I think that's it. I think I took enough time. So it's like, please do consider, keeping some of those things. It's like, and I think this is a pretty thorough list, but there might be a few other things too. Come on, work.